Hello and welcome along to your virtual tour of the Coast to Coast kayak leg for 2017. My name's Sam Milne from Canterbury Kayaking and I'll be your guide today. We'll go down the river and I'll show you the lines. River's flowing at about 110 QMX, which is quite a bit of water for this time of year. The river's been coming up and well, I would say coming down, but it's actually been staying up for the last few weeks. It's been really hard to get on the river for quite some time, and it certainly hasn't been good for business and hasn't been good for all our competitors that are looking to do the race. So I guess this video is dedicated to those that haven't managed to get in a training run or a guided trip before the race. I really hope this little video helps you out in some way. Maybe you could help us out by thinking of us the next time you need a piece of kayak gear or want to come and do some more kayaking and improve your skills. You can see we've arrived at the first boulder garden. Not much going on in this small boulder garden, covered up by most of the water. So the advice is, if it looks good in front of you, keep paddling. If not, steer around anything you don't like the look of, any of those little spots of white water. If you're not confident at this stage on the course, then just take some extra time to get acquainted with your kayak and just move away from any of that rougher water and you'll be just fine. The top braids at the moment have a bit of water in them, lots of choices to make. Doesn't necessarily make it easier. There's lots of choices, so there's always the possibility of making the wrong choice. I guess if I'm going to dish out any advice, I'll say go right. If it looks like 50-50, it's probably a right is the way you want to go. So Coach Sam says go right. It'll work 99% of the time. Don't call me if it didn't work. I'm sorry. But I think that's good advice at the moment. I wish you the best of luck up there. The boulder gardens is where you'll be having a good time though. First one's pretty mellow, as you've seen. This next little spot, sometimes there's things going on here this year. It's a right hand bend and you just stay on the inside. There's plenty of water to just hang on the inside and avoid the boulders. This is the number 3, I'm calling it number 3 this year. You want to be going left at the top. Miss that rock, that was a little close for comfort, but you do want to come to the center again pretty quickly because there's a rock just there on your left. Okay, get to the center and start moving to the right. So I guess the line is start on the left and be moving to the right. Yeah, which makes it a little tricky if you're not paddling strongly. So you've got to want that line. You've got to be paddling hard from the left to the right, and you'll avoid all those bigger rocks. Then you can just stay right where I'm pointing, trying to get the crew to come a little bit further right than where they are. Yeah, if you don't paddle very strongly, the river will just take you where it wants. So paddle nice and hard and you'll be in control. This last boulder garden here, the line is to go down the right side. At the top of the rapid, do yourself a favor and put the gas on going right. Get yourself there early and you'll miss this stuff in the middle, which could cause you some problems going through there. So just stay right. It's quite a long rapid, so you just want to stay on your game and just keep paddling all the way to the bottom. Stay nice and relaxed and forward and just keep on paddling. There's a few extra little rocks thrown in there just on the left now, so just stay right, and there's some good lines down there at the moment. Coming up to Gooseberry. Just past Gooseberry, it's this kind of fun little wave we've been crashing through for no real reason other than it's good fun. So the crew today enjoying that as well. That's good to see. And then after some more braids, you'll arrive. Esk Rock is on the left of me there. We go around behind that. There's a pretty nice left-hand bend to start us off at the top of the gorge. You can just follow the main flow, be kind of center, and then finish on the right, avoiding any eddies that might be lurking on the inside of the corner. And you come through there and you just drop straight into this little right shortcut. So on the right side of the river there's a little shortcut. This is Esk Pool. It's changed recently. Come down this shortcut and then get a lot of speed. Lift the left edge now. That's critical. You've got to have your left edge lifted or your left rail lifted as you meet that new flow. Straight after that, another little bypass on the right, and you're into Esk Bend, which is this big sweeping left-hand corner. This is really clean at the moment. There's not a lot to worry about. Just stay on the inside of the bend, and you'll have a really smooth line with lots of space all the way around this really kind of mellow left-hand bend at the moment. It wouldn't be so mellow if you're all the way on the right, as you can see. So if you really want to shave a few seconds off your overall race time, then by all means take the risk, go a bit further out into the middle or the right. But I suspect most of you, if you're watching this video, probably want to go exactly where I'm going now. Starting left, and then towards the end of the corner, move back to the middle, and you'll avoid those rocks that you just saw on my left. And then you'll be in the gorge. Salmon Rapid looks totally different with some water in the river. Down the right side will give you a smooth line. Not all the way right though. You don't want to go into those eddies. Just right of the main flow works. And then here we are, Carrington Gorge, narrowest part of the river. From the mountains to the ocean, this is the narrowest spot. And as you come through the narrowest spot, be on the left side of the river. That cliff doesn't look too inviting, but that is where you want to be. There are some strange eddies going on the right at this flow, so follow the line you just saw on the video. Hamilton Rapid. Does it look small to you? It felt small today. Maybe that's the flow. Maybe that's just the awesome line that we've got going on down the left side here. Don't get too far left. There are some rocks that you don't want to trip up on. Just smash it down the left. Find the smooth flowing water and keep paddling all the way out the bottom. You're about halfway. Well done. On the right, Sticky Yardie Rock. You want to be moving right when you see Sticky Yardie Rock. The river's quite wide, so by moving right, you're going to set yourself up for this middle chute that's going to bring you down into the main flow again. So when you come down into the main flow, you're looking to get prepared for Bluff, which at low flow, if you've done the race in previous years, you'll know there's some kind of strong eddies going on. You'll find that at the moment, Bluff is pretty mellow if you're in the right place. Being left through this little wave there, it means you're in the right spot and you've got plenty of options. Stay left and you're virtually not going to have any problems at all. Yeah. Being in the middle, it's going to give you that nice smooth line around the corner. So where I am here is where you want to be. Just jumped out of my boat because I've seen an abandoned kayak floating in the river. which I believe is from a bit of a disaster trip the day before. We cancelled our guided trip because of bad conditions, but a group of 17 kayakers was rescued. They ditched their boats. They got home safely, which is great, but just goes to show. Here's another one. We saw 11 kayaks today stranded. Just goes to show that the Waimak Gorge is not to be taken lightly if you're new to this sport, and the best way to get your first trip is with a guided trip with professionals. Here we are at Difficult Bend. It's called Difficult Bend for a reason. It's kind of strange, especially at low flow, but at the moment there's so much water around it. It's kind of flattened off. You can pretty much just follow the inside of the main flow. Yeah. Avoid those waves that some of you might not like the look of, and you're in luck. You don't have to paddle through them. You can just paddle to the left and you'll have a sweet line. Don't go too far left. There are some eddies there to potentially spin you out. So just on the inside of the main flow is where you want to be. Yeah, and just stay on your game for this last little exit here out of Difficult Bend. Be in the center and you'll be good. Broken River. Take the outside line around the outside of the eddy. That's the best line at the moment. Pretty straightforward. You can see the helicopter going to throw some water on that fire, which has ripped through the gorge a couple of days ago. There's a big forest fire, so they are still cooling that down, doing a good job. And now we're out of the gorge, and this is known as Carnage Rock. See the rock on the left in the middle of the river. Previous years the river was different. It was putting water directly into that rock and making it difficult for some people to paddle around. This year, take the right braid and you'll cruise on past. The further you go right, the easier it's going to be for you, really. And then we've got Horseshoe Bend. Again, in previous years, this has been a little tricky at low flows. At the moment, you can pretty well hang on the inside, avoid this boil on the left there by staying on the inside of the corner. A little bit swirly, but all good. But we'll change things up and we'll put Lucy in front. So Lucy shows us how it's done. Does a good job taking the outside line around that bluff corner. And here we are at Deerprint Cove, just showing you a little shortcut down the left at the moment. Hopefully this will still be on race day, because it cuts the distance down, but maybe more importantly, you get to cut out a bluff corner, which if you know that those make you nervous, then that's a good way to avoid one. And Woodstock, shortcut on the right. You get to Woodstock, go right and you'll find this little shortcut, and then as you join back into the main flow, we've got new water coming in on the left, so you're lifting your left edge so that new flow can come under that lifted hull. And we're here. Why not take a roll to celebrate? Celebrate the last trip of the season. Prove I can still do it. If you're keen to learn that, we do it every Monday night at the pool. We can teach you. We'll save the last 15k, save the bodies, because the race isn't far away. Make sure your legs are still working when you hop out of the boat. Hopefully you're stoked, just like these guys are, because you've had a good trip down. Make sure you book with us next season.